Okay, great. Awesome. Okay. Okay, guys. First of all, okay, I would like to really appreciate each and every one of you for coming on board. As usual, okay, I'm going to basically share with you, this technology that we have developed. And we want to make sure that, that this technology empowers ordinary people to generate extraordinary income. So this is the goal of what we are doing, all right? So I will explain to you detail about the product, how the product works, and thereafter we will go into the ecosystem, what will be the startup cost for you to get started, and all those information so that you will have the full information to make a decisive a decisive decision later on based on all this information that you are getting. All right. So first thing first, okay, it's important for you to understand the position of the company. Okay, so the company that we are running here is called JDWealthMaker. So JDWealthMaker is the name of the company. Okay, and please understand that JDWealthMaker is a financial technology, decentralized finance software development company. So that's what our focus is. So we have a company that is set up, and this company focuses on anything to do with decentralized finance. So we are not involved with centralized finance, which is banks and so on. And a lot of these things, when involved with the centralized finance, it is not easy for normal, ordinary people to have access to it. All right. Even if you go to the centralized finance, to the bank, and try to get access to finance, it will take longer time, or sometimes you may not even be eligible or qualified for that. But today, right? Today, with a decentralized finance, you can be part of this opportunity in less than 10 minutes. Can you just imagine that? So we are breaking the barrier, that is all these difficulties, right, that people are facing in order to access the centralized finance. So this is the reason why our focus is to build different software for the decentralized finance, and user can have access to this software, and through this software, right, we can empower them financially. Isn't that awesome? So this is the role of JD Wealth Maker. Okay, so under JD Wealth Maker, we currently have built two separate products. So we have our flagship product. Our flagship product is JDXBOT. So JDXBOT, the beta testing started around 2 years ago. So we have already tested and even run this product, and currently this product has been delivering, quite an exceptional results, okay, for our team, globally, all right? So then I just introduced the CopyMaster. JDXCopyMaster is a copy trading product. And this product was actually just running less than 2 weeks, okay? And even although it is running less than 2 weeks, I think it is also delivering a significant results for our users. Although currently a lot of the positions are floating, but if I have time, I'm going to show you guys what is the profit that has been generated, from the copy trading itself, even for less than 2 weeks, okay? So as I mentioned, right, please understand that we have a total about 4 products that we want to build. So at the moment, we have completed our JDXBOT, a flagship product. Please understand, JDXBOT is an algo trading. It's an algorithmic trading whereby you need an API to connect. And once you connect with the API, all the trading will be autonomously 100% managed by JD Wealthmaker. So you do not need to do anything. You do not need to set the parameters, nothing. All that you need to do is just make sure you comply to the requirement and fund your account, which I will go through step by step very, very shortly, okay? So both of these products, right, give 100% autonomous, okay? So you do not need to worry about anything, right? So I will go through detail with you and make sure that, you pay attention so that you are able to follow step by step, throughout the whole process. And if you have any questions later on, right, related to this presentation, please ask me at the end of the presentation, okay? That will be great. So now, as I mentioned, right, JDXBOT is our flagship product. So when I say flagship, means everyone by right should have JDXBOT, okay? Because JDXBOT is basically is where a lot of the work has been done, and currently we have 100% algorithmic trading in place, and user can actually access this flagship product, right? Which I will explain to you later on what will be the startup cost and how to go about it. Okay. Now, please understand JDXBOT is an industry first fully autonomous crypto algorithmic tactical futures trading bot. Okay. So this is what we do, and this is my expertise is basically developing futures leverage trading, crypto futures leverage trading, using a tactical strategy. Okay, so these strategies has been inbuilt years of this. Okay, years of this since 2009. Okay, all my experiences in the trading, been actually embedded into this trading bot. Now, please understand that JDXBot is a third-party exchange-based API commission software as a service. Okay, so this is what we do. So once you acquire JDXBot, you have to connect, right? You have to bind your API. So once you bind your API between the exchange and JD WealthMaker, then we will be managing all your trading 100% through that API. Okay, so that's basically how algo trading actually works. Okay, so you can have the peace of mind leaving your account. Okay, so that this account will be 100% managed by JDXBot itself. Okay, now let's just quickly understand some of the important unique advantages of JDXBot. Now, first thing first, I think this is the most critical, right? Because users want to have 100% control of their fund. Now, at the moment, right, a lot of people, they feel they are cheated if they actually invest with a third party, they put their money with somebody, they don't know what is going on with their money. So what we are really seeing is that people would prefer to have their fund in their own exchanges. They want to see their fund. They want to control their fund. So here you have a 100% fund which is actually controlled by the user. So you can decide the amount that you want to deposit. You can decide if you want to withdraw your fund. So all the fund management will be 100% actually managed, okay, by the users itself. I think that's the brilliant proposition, so that you do not need to worry about what is going on with your fund if you invest with a third party, or if there is an exit strategies, right, and so on, right? So you start to get panic. But over here, you don't have to get panic because your fund is before your own eyes, okay? Now, the other thing is that it is 100% autopilot 24/7. So JDXBot runs 24/7 even during the weekend. Now, this is the beauty about decentralized finance, right? Because centralized finance are only 5 days a week. All right, even if you talk about forex market, is 5 days a week. All right, but this is where crypto actually uniquely differentiate, with all the centralized, finances, right? Because you can actually have a product that is running for you 24/7. I think this is important because we want to actually improve the rate of return. If you want to improve the rate of return, you need to have a solution. You need to have a technology that is running for you 24/7. Can you see that? So you can be doing your job, you can be doing your businesses, so you don't have to worry about, stopping all those things, because you have a technology now, all right, running for you 24/7. Now, please understand, some people, right, they have the most expensive smartphone or smart devices, but that devices are not fully utilized. Now, can you just imagine if you have 2 or 3 devices at your home, and now you can actually utilize those devices so that those devices can actually bring in money? Or else it is just wasted, right? You're going to pay for that devices maybe 2 or 3 years, and then you're going to change to new device. How if that device can actually generate profit for you? Isn't that brilliant? Okay, so these are some of the important concept, okay, that we want you to think, okay, because you cannot just think about yourself, right? You also think about the devices that you have and how these devices can actually be productive and generate income for you, right? Or else wasted for you to spend few thousand or few $100 just to acquire those devices, okay? Now, the other thing is that it is 100% transparent. So you can see all the live trades and results at your fingertips. So when you actually register for the exchanges, right, and you connect your API, you will have the app with you. So that simply means that you can watch, you can take a look, you can actually see all those information, okay, at your fingertip. Now, the most important thing is that this is a third-party exchange, right? So if it is a third-party exchange, there is no manipulation or alteration of the results by JDXBOT because we are only connecting through the API. But every other thing is actually taking place in your own account, in your own exchanges. All right. And I think this is a very, very, important, critical transparency, right? So that you know exactly that since it is a third party, everything that you are seeing that is fully transparent. Okay, that is important. Now, the other thing is that, as I mentioned, right, because of my years of experience in trading, right, I think since 2009, I've been trading in the forex market, especially gold, and thereafter when crypto came into space, especially Bitcoin. Now, I love Bitcoin because instead of trading the physical gold, today, now I can trade the digital gold, right? So I think that is awesome, right? And I remember that during that period, Bitcoin was only $300. Okay, today, Bitcoin is already $105,000. Just imagine, right? How many people have missed this opportunity? But today, you do not need to worry because you can even earn Bitcoin, all right? Because we have a strategy for Bitcoin. You can even earn a Bitcoin, through JDXBOT. Okay, so all these experiences, right, hands-on experiences, actually been embedded into JDXBOT. So when you have JDXBOT, please understand it is years of expertise, years of trial and testing that has been put, into this bot. And let me tell you something, that it is not something that you think that it is done, right? And when come to trading, right, because the market is volatile, the market is dynamic, we have to keep, reviewing the bot, the algorithm, and we have to continuously be improving the algorithm. So today, what we have and what we are providing to the world is an improved algorithm. And I believe, right, through this solution, a lot of you can actually enjoy significant profitability while the bot is resilient, safeguarding your capitals and so on. Okay. Now, the other thing is that it's safe, reliable, and compliance trading platform. This is very important. So we have an exchange that we are partnered with, all right? So that's the reason why we can provide the API connectivity through this exchange. But the most important thing is that this exchange is safe, is licensed, and on top of that, your funds are protected. So in the event, okay, let's say that your fund is compromised or been hacked, you can actually get back to this exchange. They have proper regulations and compliance for you to claim and so on. Okay, so I think this is the type of exchange that we want to work with. Okay, so and last but not least, one of the highest profit sharing, in the industry, with instant profit settlement is what we are doing here. So you can see that every time the bot closes in profit, we have a profit sharing, and that will be actually done almost instantly. All right. And apart from that, if you are sharing JDXBOT to your friends, all right, you are also going to enjoy one of the biggest, referral bonuses, which I will go through with you very, very shortly. Okay. Now, the important thing that I want the team to really understand is how this whole ecosystem works. Okay. Now, it is important to know the entity that is involved in this ecosystem. All right. So as I mentioned to you, right, we have the exchange, and the exchange that we officially partner with is only BitGet. All right. So we do not have any other exchange at the moment, although we are studying those exchanges. But at the moment, we are more comfortable to work with BitGet because I have been using BitGet for many, many years. All right. And then so we have BitGet and we have JDXBOT. So you can see that. So you need a BitGet account in order for you to be part of JDXBOT. All right. So once you have the BitGet account, you have to connect your API with JDXBOT so that JDXBOT can then 100% manage your trading. All right. So that is how it works. So now for each of these entities, there are separate activities that is involved. So you can see it for BitGet, right? The first thing first, you need to sign up for BitGet. All right. So you have a partners referral link over here. You can use our partners referral link, to sign up if you want to sign up, or else you can refer to your upline and get your upline referral link to sign up. Okay. Now, once you have signed up, make sure you perform the KYC, which is your identity verification. It's simple. They only need your identity, and you then have to do a selfie. Okay. No address verification is required. You just have to do level 1 KYC. And then you have to create an API and bind with JDXBOT. Okay. Now, please understand that you have to have an account with BitGet first before you can even join JDXBOT. So if you don't have an account with BitGet, you cannot be part of JDXBOT. That is the rule. Okay, so please take note of that. So when come to JDXBOT, there are quite a number of activities that is required. All right, take your time, don't rush. Make sure you go through one by one. We have the detailed guide, okay, which will be provided for you. So you can go through the detailed step-by-step processes and so on, okay? Now, please understand, these steps are only once. Once you complete these activities, thereafter, you no longer have to do that. Your bot will be running autonomously, okay? So for JDXBOT, you need to sign up to, okay? You need to sign up. So you can see there are two separate platforms that you need to sign up. Okay, and then you perform the email verification, and then there is a two-factor authentication. Make sure, okay, you activate, you enable your 2FA, and then you have to purchase the strategy plan. All right, so here you got a strategy plan. I will explain to you shortly. This is a yearly renewal. Okay, you have to purchase the strategy plan. Once you purchase, then you proceed to perform API binding with BitGet. All right, and thereafter you need to fund your strategy wallet. Okay, this is where the profit sharing will be deducted. Okay, and thereafter, you got the fund. You need to fund your main futures account. Can you see that? So this is your BitGet account. This is where you fund your main futures account. And once you funded your main futures account, you also have to fund your sub account. And thereafter, your bot will be activated. Okay, so if you look, all right, we have a 3 separate strategy that it will be provided for you to acquire. Normally, our team will actually acquire all the 3 strategies, okay, because all the 3 strategies runs at different time, all right, and also there are different in terms of the liquidity and market conditions and so on, right? There are different. So that's the reason why it's always best to have all the 3 strategies, okay? So you can actually have USDT, USDC, and also BTC strategy, okay? So these are all the important features of those strategies once your bot is activated and it is run on autopilot. Okay, so just take note of that. Okay, now let's go to the heartbeat of JDXBOT. Okay, now this is a very critical when it comes to trading. Right, so many traders make mistakes because one of the critical aspects of trading is always about the wallet management. Okay, now when I talk about wallet management, I look at trading from a perspective of going into the war zone. All right, it's like you are getting into a war zone, a battlefield where you have this, red army and green army. So trading is all about the green candle and the red candle. So when you are in the battlefield, one of the most important thing in the battlefield is about ammunition. All right, so you need to make sure you have enough bullet. You don't get into the battlefield without sufficient bullet, okay? So if you can have excess bullet, that will be really great, because the more bullet you have, the more, the more ammunition you have, the longer you can stay in the battlefield, and the longer you're able to stay, at one point you can actually win the battle, right? So that is the rule of trading. So if you're not able to manage your ammunition or your fund well, that is the reason why a lot of the positions can get liquidated. So this is the unique advantage of JDXBOT, because we prioritize wallet management. All right. So that is the reason why we have employed a dynamic risk mitigation system that actively manages the interaction between users' main futures account and the sub account to safeguard users' position. Okay. So do watch this attentively, because I want you to understand how the main account and the sub account interact in order to, mitigate any kind of risk, and also to improve the performance of your bot, so that you can actually realize much greater profitability. So if you look into this image, right, you can see that every users that are going to come into JDXBOT, they need the main futures account, and they also need the sub account. All right. Now let me quickly explain about these two account. Okay, so if you look at this example, right, the main futures account, the minimum, all right, is $200 for each of the strategies. So if you acquire, let's say, for example, USDT strategy, then you need to make sure the minimum amount that you can fund is $200 or more. Okay, not below. Okay, $200 or more. So if you have 3 strategy, that simply means you need $600, right? Because each of those strategy is $200. Now, when you fund $200 for one of the strategy, your sub-account requirement minimum is 50% of your main account amount. So that simply means in this example, if my main account, the USDT is 200, then my sub-account minimum, right, will be $100. All right, now please understand, okay? These are minimum requirement to get your bot activated. But as a precaution, right, we always advise you, the more you have in your sub-account, the better it is. So if let's say, for example, your main futures account is 200 and you want to put 200 in your sub-account, that will be much better. Okay, but the minimum requirement is $100 or 50% of your main futures account. So if you change, okay, let's say, for example, after a month, you want to now increase your main futures account from 200 to 1,000. If you change your main futures account amount to 1,000, then your sub-account will be 50% of 1,000, which is $500. Can you understand me? So that is how it works, okay, when come to the wallet management between the main and the sub-account. Okay, now let me explain to you how this mechanism works, because this is the heartbeat, that determines the performance of the bot, and at the same time, how the risk is mitigated so that none of the positions get liquidated. All right, so let me explain to you one by one. Now, the first thing first is that we have a real monitoring system in place. Okay. Now, JDXBOT algorithm continuously monitors the main account base available balance and automatically replenish it from sub-account with an amount equivalent to the dollar cost average value. Now, this replenishment restores the available balance to the base available balance for optimal bot performance. Now, let me explain to you how these things work, right? Because for some of you, this is the first time you are hearing some of this terminology, okay? Nothing to worry. You will be this is great, right? Because these are the things that you want to learn when you are part of the crypto space. Okay, now, let's say, right, for example, right, you have $200 in your main futures account. And when the position opened, right, everything is fine. The bot opens the position according to the algorithmic rules and the market condition. But unfortunately, sometimes the market can have some manipulation whereby instead of the direction goes in your favor, it goes against you. Now, when the market go against you, you do not need to worry because we have the dollar cost average, okay, been embedded into the algorithm. So what will happen is that the dollar cost average will take effect. Now, let's say, for example, the first DCA consumed $20 of the 200. All right, so $20, a new order will be open, right, for the $20 because of the DCA. All right, so now what happened? The sub account will check the main account base balance. So the main account base balance is 200. But when the sub-account check, it is only 180. So what the sub-account will do? The sub-account then will replenish $20 to make sure it maintains the main account always at the base available balance of $200 consistently. Can you see that? So even if the market go against you, right? It go against you in many stages, right? It doesn't matter as long as you have sufficient amount in your sub-account, it will continue to replenish. Isn't that awesome, right? So this is critical when it comes to futures trading or any type of trading, because if you can maintain your main futures account balance, okay, consistently, you can win. You can win in the battlefield. Can you see that? So this is important. And this concept is the same concept even if you go to war. You need a support of the ammunition support, right? You need support from the air, from the land, or from the sea, because the more ammunition you have, the longer you stay in the field, you will win the battle. Can you understand me? So the same concept of the battlefield, okay, we have actually adopted because this is how JD WealthMaker concept of futures trading. Right now, next. Cycle and normalization. Now, once all the trading positions are fully closed, all right, the replenished funds are automatically returned to the sub-account, preparing for the next trading cycle without requiring manual intervention. So, the $20, right, the $20 that was used or was replenished will now return back to the sub-account. Everything will be normalized back. and then, okay, a new cycle will be open, and the same thing will occur again and again. Can you see that? So it is an intelligent system that have already been built into the algorithm, and all these things are done automatically by the bot. Okay, please understand. So next. So we have a fallback protocol. Okay. Now, if the sub account lacks sufficient balance from replenishment, JDXBOT will then switch to using the main account balance for the continued DCA operation. So now, this situation, right? For example, some user, they say, I don't have the fund. I can only allocate 50% at this moment. So if, all right, if the DCA keep taking place and your 50% is depleted, what will happen then? JDXBOT will automatically switch and it will start to use your main futures account. Can you see that? So this is a fallback protocol, a fallback control, so that we continuously make sure the DCA takes place, because for the DCA is so critical, right? To make sure that we always manipulate the entry price, bring the entry price closer to the current market price, so that if the market reverses, we can close the position faster. So this is the reason why I mentioned earlier, right? If you can allocate more than 50%, that will be awesome. 100% will be fantastic. So if you put $200 for your main futures account, make sure you allocate another $200 for your sub account. Okay, so that will be brilliant, right? Because or else, right, it will start to eat up your main futures account. Yes, you don't have the problem, you don't need to worry, but it will start to eat up. Now, the problem will only start when? Next, okay? When you receive the critical alert trigger. All right. Now, in the event the main account balances drop to 50% of your highest available balance, a critical alert email will be sent to notify a user, right, to top up their sub account. So now, for example, right, if you say I don't have enough in my sub account, we will start to use your main account. Now, when we start to use your main account and your main account balances reduces to 50%. Let's say now you have a 50% left in your main account. You will receive a critical alert email telling you that, hey, your main account now has already reached 50%. Get ready to top up your sub account. Can you see that? So this is a very important trigger, right? Because we are doing this in advance at 50%, not at 20% or 10%, because it will be too late. So you are warned, okay? You are warned, you are being reminded earlier so that you can start to top up your sub account. Now, when you top up your sub account, what will happen? Your main account will then check if there is amount in the sub account. So if there is an amount in your sub account, it will automatically top up and maintain your main futures account above the 50%. Now, as long it is below 50%, you will continuously receive the reminder email. Can you see that? So this is a very, very important wallet management strategy that we have actually established based on years of experience. And this is what actually safeguarding and protecting JDXBOT worldwide. Okay, and I think this is the reason why none of the position, okay, by God's grace, has been liquidated so far. All right, everyone seeing this, this functionality is working well, and this is what actually one of the reasons of the success factor of JDXBOT. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, so what I'm sharing with you here is not technical. This is what we call tactical strategy. All right, so tacticality has to do with how you manage the bullet or the ammunition in the war zone. All right, so we do not need to know the technical how to shoot, because you should learn how to shoot before even get into the battlefield. Can you understand me, right? So when you are in the battlefield, it's all about tactical strategy. So wallet management is one of the most important tactical strategy, okay? So the key benefit is basically autonomous balance regulation, right? So we ensure stable hedging ratios, consistent performance, and reduce the liquidation risk through intelligent fund movement and also integration between main and the sub account. Now, let me just remind you, okay? In the event you receive the critical alert trigger and you don't respond, you don't top up because maybe you don't have the fund and so on, right? And you just leave it. Now, if you leave it at one point, okay, when your main account is starting to deplete from 50% to 40% to 30% to 20%. At one point, you will receive a margin call from BitGet. That is like your lifeline. That is the last call that you receive. And if you still don't take action, you can get liquidated. So what I want to tell you guys is this, okay? We have done everything we could, all right, to embed all the strategies that is needed. But if you don't respond and you don't take action and you allow the margin call to take place and you get liquidated, 100% all the fun that you have will be gone. Please understand that, because this is a futures cross margin. So when it comes to futures cross margin, it is very, very risky, yet with proper wallet management, we actually prevented it. But if users don't bother and they don't take action, even with all those reminders, then we can't do much about it. Okay, so please understand, I need to remind this because I don't want people to come on board and think that everything will be fine, we will never get liquidated. Yes, you will never get liquidated if you obey the rules. But if you disobey the rules and you don't respond, you can get liquidated, and that is because of your own negligence. Okay, please take note, okay, because I never promise or we never guarantee that none of the position can be liquidated. Please understand that, okay? Now, next is a hands-free, worry-free, 100% autopilot. Now, the reason why we are doing what we are doing and why we are putting this control in place so that, you know, you can have a peace of mind. You don't need to worry. So that's the reason why I always tell you, right? If you are someone who's busy, you are working, you got meetings and so on, it's always good to top up your sub account or maintain your sub account beyond 50%. All right, because the more your sub account there is, the better it is, because then you do not need to really worry about topping up and so on. All right, you can just leave the whole thing and it will then autonomously work for your own good. Okay, so that is basically how this whole wallet management strategy works. Okay, so I hope you understand now. Okay, this is the heartbeat, and this is the reason why JDXBOT is so successful, because of this intelligent tactical strategy that we have embedded into our algorithm. Okay, now I believe that many of you now want to know, all right, if I want to get involved, what is the initial startup cost, right? Now let's look into those costing. What are those components that you need to pay attention to? Okay, now, first thing first, as I mentioned to you, to be part of JDXBOT, you need to purchase the strategy plan, okay? Because this is an algo, all right? And because this is an algo, there is a strategy plan. So please understand that we have three strategies: USDT, USDC, and also BTC. Each of these strategy, right? $100. So if you buy all the three at once, you only have to pay $250. Okay, now this is awesome, right? Because you're going to save the $50, right? So this $50, you can later on actually use for the CopyMaster, okay? Which I will explain to you later on, okay? So that's the reason why you can take advantage of the three and then later on use this $50 that you save for the to activate your CopyMaster. So now you will have two solutions running at the same time, right? Isn't that awesome? Okay. Now, please understand, this is a yearly subscription. It's non-refundable, non-transferable, and non-switchable. Okay. You can't switch, you can't transfer, and make sure that it is a 365 days renewal. Okay. Now, next is you have the main futures account. Okay. You need to fund the main futures account. As I mentioned to you, minimum initial funding for the BitGet main futures account starts at $200 for each of the strategy. So if you purchase three strategies, the minimum is 200, 200, 200. So total will be 600. All right. Now, next is your fund your sub account. So as I mentioned to you, if you fund your main futures account with 200, your sub account will be 50% minimum requirement. So that will be 100. Okay, each of the strategy, please take note of that. Okay, and last but not least, you also have to fund your strategy wallet. Now, strategy wallet is where the profit sharing between the partners and JDXBOT takes place. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, right, JDXBOT has no access to your BitGet account. So we cannot deduct the 30% from your BitGet account. So where do we deduct? We deduct from your strategy wallet in JDXBOT back office. Can you understand me? I'll try to see if I can show you the back office later on. But let's look into the initial startup cost. Okay, now let me break it down to 1 strategy, 2 strategy, 3 strategy, so that you can then decide how you want to go about it. Now, if you go for 1 strategy, then you pay $100 for the strategy plan, and then your minimum funding for the futures account is 200. Your sub account will be 50% of that, which is 100. And for the strategy wallet, the minimum to get your bot activated is $30 initially. Later on, you need to make sure to top up, because this is where the 30% profit sharing will be taking place. Okay, so if you go for the 1 strategy, then you need to allocate around $430. Okay, now if you go for 2 strategy, then you will require $810. And if you go for all the 3 strategies that we normally would encourage our team to do, because you will save the $50, right? So you can actually use the $50 later on. So you might need about $1,180 or $1,200 for you to get started with all the 3 strategies at once. Now, the other reason why we mentioned all the 3 strategies, because please understand, okay, sometimes, right, let's say you go for 1 strategy, you only buy BTC, Bitcoin. But let's say, for example, the market condition doesn't meet, the algorithm doesn't meet, so your Bitcoin doesn't open any position for that period. So you will be missing out, right? Because there's no position open. But if you have all the 3, high likely, even if Bitcoin position not open, your USDT will be running. Your USDC will be running. So this is the reason why we diversified and we provided 3 separate strategy: USDT, USDC, and also Bitcoin. All right, so that's the reason why. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now as I mentioned, right, in terms of the trading profit sharing model, so the model that we have here is basically 75-25. So that means that 75% of the net profit, okay, I'm not talking about realized profit, okay, this is after deduction of all the costs, all the fees, that the net profit that our partners will enjoy is 75%, and 25% will go to JDXBOT. Now, please understand, take advantage of this offer, because this offer, right, 75-25 profit sharing is valid until December 2025. Okay, thereafter, we might actually allocate this 5% into our partners referral programs and so on. So do take note of that. Okay, but at the moment you can enjoy 75-25. Later on, it will return back to the original, which is 70-30. Okay, please take note of that. Okay, now the other important thing, as I mentioned to you, right, JDXBOT also generously reward, okay, those who are sharing or introducing JDXBOT, okay, to their network and so on. Okay, so here we have an unlimited lifetime 2 tiers referral model, okay, where you can actually enjoy 30% on any purchases of the strategy and upon each renewals. Now, this is awesome, okay? So first level, okay, you can see tier 1. Tier 1, anyone that you introduce directly under you, you will enjoy 20% of their subscription. So if they subscribe $250, you will immediately, okay, instantly will be credited $50 into your account. So you can actually withdraw that immediately. You don't have to wait for 24 hours or 48 hours. If you want to withdraw, you can withdraw. So just imagine, right? If you have 10 people directly under you, that is $2,500, and $50 of that will be about $500 immediately credited into your account. You can probably, purchase your strategy, or you can even basically use this for CopyMaster or whatever. So, right? Now, for tier 2, you will enjoy another 10%. So this is where you actually enjoy total of 30%. But the other thing, the important thing also, please understand that when your referral actually renew, right, after a year, right, they renew, you will still enjoy that 30% referral commissions, right? So just imagine, right, every year when your team is renewing, you are actually getting a free bonus, okay, from this referral. So the reason why we are doing what we are doing, because we want to empower ordinary people to generate extraordinary income. So if you are happy with JDXBOT, and you believe that, this technology, this solution, can also change, someone's life, then you can actually go ahead and share. Okay, but please understand that we don't really push for people to share the product. If you believe in the product, go ahead. If you don't believe it, is fine, because JDXBOT is a real trading. We are not dependent on the referral commissions and so on. Okay, please understand that. Okay. Now, so how to make a profitable move? Okay, how you can be part of JDXBOT? Very simple. There is only 3 steps. One, you have to sign up. You have to sign up for BitGet. You have to sign up for JDXBOT. Okay, thereafter, you need to connect your API. Remember, you need to create an API with BitGet, and then you need to bind your API, and you have to go through the rest of the processes. Okay, and thereafter, your bot will be activated. Simple as that. Okay, simple as that. Now, don't worry about all these things, because if you get into our JDXBOT, okay, our website, www.jdxbot.com. Now, please understand that you cannot sign up as a public user. There is no sign up button. So you need to get a referral link, okay, from the person who have actually introduced you in order for you to be able to sign up, okay, because temporarily we are only opening this opportunity for the private partners, all right, through our private partners, because we don't want to open to any public users yet. Okay, please understand. So if you want to be part of JDXBOT, make sure you get the person who introduced you, get a referral link, and then you will start to see, the sign up will be open up. All right. But what is the important thing is that you can see the getting started resources. All right. The getting started resources. So if you get back into JDXBOT, right? Let me bring you into our back office. Okay, just to give you a look, right? How the back office look like. So this is the back office. So this is the home page, right? This is the home page. So you can see we don't have sign up button. So you can't sign up here. All right. But you can actually view, all right, view the home page. You can even watch our intro videos, all right, and all those things are already there. So you can take a look at that. But what is the most important? Go to the getting started here, and you can see the getting started checkpoint. So if you click the checkpoint, it will bring you to the checkpoint here. Can you see that? Now, this is important. Okay, this is so important. So before you even get started, don't rush. Okay, I know people are excited, but don't rush. All right. What I would advise you, go and print out this PDF file. So here we got 13 steps. Can you see that? First step, this is how you start. You start with BitGet first. You sign up, you log in, you verify your KYC, and then you set up your sub account. Then you go and sign up for JDXBOT. Can you see that? So there are 13 steps here, and go through the descriptions, and here you got the checkpoints, right? Can you see? So you complete steps 1, you tick. You complete step 2, you tick. So if you follow this, you will never make mistake. All right. Now, the other thing is that you also have the getting started guide. So for example, right, let's say, okay, I want to sign up. How to sign up? Don't worry. You go to the getting started guide. So in the getting started guide, you will now have the detailed tutorial with each of the steps. Can you see that? Step 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, all the way for each of those steps. How to verify your account. Can you see that? All these informations are already provided at your fingertips. So all that you need to do, be diligent. All right, take your time, go through one by one, okay, until you set up everything. Okay, until you get out to all the 13s, okay? And make sure, okay, when you are doing everything, make sure you read all. The most important is the rate warning there. All right, rate warning there are very important, and make sure you obey those rate warnings, okay? These are important, okay? So go through until you complete all the steps. Can you see that? Complete all the steps. So at the end of it, right? At the end of it, you will have the checklist. Okay, can you see that? I will show you that, and then we move on. So you can see here. See that? So this is the checklist if you want to see your bot activated successfully. These are the 7, right? 7 points that you need to make sure everything is done properly, and then your bot will be automatically, okay? Because everything is done through algorithm. So you do not need to reach out to support, nothing, right? Once you have completed everything correctly, the bot will be activated. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, so this is basically what you have. If you get back into the, let me get back to my, where is that? Sorry. All right, so here, right? So if you go back to the website, right? So this is where you get all the information. So if you need today's presentation, there's a corporate presentation there. And the FAQ, please read through. I think we got about 60 over FAQs there. Read through all those FAQs and so on, okay? So this is just to show you the back office. And as I mentioned to you, if you go to the dashboard, so this is where you can see the the statistics, okay, of all the tradings results over here, the countdown of your bot, how long is your bot activation will be, when is the next renewal, your referral income, statistics. Then you can see your hourly balance, your daily realized profit, your daily strategy fees that is being deducted. All right, so and then you see all the different statistics there. So here we have the strategy wallet. Can you see that? So this is where you need to make sure you have enough and you actually top up and keep your strategy wallet always, okay, available, sufficient for the deduction of the 25% profit sharing. Can you see that? So you can set your balance reminder so that it will remind you once it reaches certain level, so that you always maintain, okay, this. So please understand, your strategy wallet, the profit sharing will only be deducted 25% when there is profit. If there's no profit, there is no deduction. So it means the more deduction, the better it is, because the more profit that you are making. All right. So please take note of that. So this is just to give you some idea about the JDXBOT back office. Now let's get back to the presentation. Okay. So what you have heard so far is JDXBOT. Okay. Now let me quickly go through JDXCopyMaster, which is the copy trading, right? So this is another product whereby if you are someone, right, that you say, all right, I love JDXBOT, but JDXBOT initial startup cost is a bit on the high side. I am not ready yet. So what you can do, you can probably start with JDXCopyMaster, because the startup cost here is much reasonable, and you can immediately get involved and get into the decentralized finance space, and then you can start to learn about the crypto. So I think this will be suitable for those who want to start, okay, getting started with something reasonable. So if you are in JDXBOT, I think you need JDXCopyMaster because it's only $50. But if you are not yet with JDXBOT, you start with a CopyMaster, and then later on, right, you might want to acquire JDXBOT as your another portfolio. All right, so you have to plan accordingly, okay? But what I want to do, I want to give you an understanding about the CopyMaster and how to get started, so that if you want to get involved, you can immediately get involved. I think in less than 10 minutes, your copy trading account will be set up and your copy trading will be running. All right, so let me do that. So now let's look into the features first, okay? Now, the first thing first is that this is 100% managed by the master trader, by myself. So that means that CopyMaster is actually manual trading that is done by me. Whatever trade that I'm doing, it will mirror at your site. Okay? It will mirror 100% at your site. That is it. That is basically a copy trading. All right? So please understand that. So this is done. This is managed by myself. All right? Now, start as low as 50. You can top up at any time. So the higher your amount, the higher yield that you can actually enjoy. But to start with a $50, I think most people is able to do so. All right. Next is basically zero subscription fees. Okay, so you don't have any subscription fees, and also no API configuration. So this makes things very easy for a starter. All right, for a starter, if you don't want to go through all those processes and so on, you can immediately get your bigger account set up, and then you can connect your copy trading immediately. All right. Next, 80-20 profit sharing. So 80% goes to you as our partner, and 20% comes to CopyMaster, okay, which is JDWEALTHMAKER. Now, please make sure we are using a smart copy mode. All right. So that simply means that the trades mirror the master strategy with precision and speed. Okay. So we are only using smart copy mode. Okay. Don't choose any other mode. Okay, because I only basically work with the smart copy mode. Next, there is a copier center management, whereby there is a dedicated fund management to prevent disruption to your existing fund allocation. So if you have JDXBOT, you don't need to worry, because JDXBOT and CopyMaster is managed separately because there is a copier center management for the CopyMaster. Okay, and the other one is that is 100% users fund control. Okay, so that means that you control your fund 100%. You are not going to send the fund to anyone. All right, so you have the full access and you have the full control of your fund. Okay, so that's basically what we are doing. We are not going to take anyone's fund unless otherwise there are other programs that we offer to you and so on. Okay, but at the moment, both of these platforms is controlled 100% by the users. Okay, now let's quickly look into the differences, the comparison between JDXBOT flagship product and the CopyMaster. Okay, now as I mentioned, JDXBOT is an algo trading. All right, it's an algorithmic, so it requires programming and all those things. Okay, but JDCopyMaster is basically just a copy trading. All right, we are only leveraging bigger facilities and the infrastructure, and all that we do is to connect, the accounts, and then you can immediately copy my trades. Okay, now both are using the same exchange, Bitget. Now for JDXBOT, there is API connection, but for CopyMaster, no API. Okay, now 100% autonomous autopilot. Okay, for the algo trading, but for copy trading, it is manually managed by the expert trader, basically myself. All right, now for the JDXBOT, the operation is 24/7, but for copy trading, it's only 5 days per week, and it depends on me because this is human. Okay, it's not algo. Please understand that. All right, so we try to only open trades 5 days a week. Saturday and Sunday, there won't be new trades open, but sometimes you may have a position floating during the weekend. All right, so the reason why we stop only 5 days, we do 5 days, we allow the weekend so that user can manage their fund. You may want to take profit, you may want to deposit more fund, you can do whatever you want to. All right, so we allow that 2 days for you. Now, startup cost, as I mentioned, moderate to high, right? You start with 430 all the way to 100 something for 3 strategies. But for copy trading, you can start as low as $50. All right. Assets that we are trading is USDT, USDC, and USD. Okay, all these are pegged to BTC. But for the copy trading, it's all we can trade any of the assets, but it's all will be pegged to only USDT. All right, so Ether USDT, Bitcoin USDT, and so on. Okay, profit sharing for JDXBOT is 75-25. For the copy trading is 80-20. Okay, later we might change this, but at the moment it's 80-20. Right? No fixed ROI. Okay, please understand. Okay, this is very important. A lot of people mistaken, right? Oh, they think that this is like an investment where I'm going to earn a fixed return every day, every month. No, it doesn't happen here, guys, because this is a real trading. So when you are doing a real trading, you can't promise anything fixed to anyone. Okay, so if you promise anything fixed, that means you are not doing real trading, right? Because market is volatile. So over here, right, I want to make sure it is clear. So if you are someone that you're looking for a fixed investment, please don't join 2 of these products. Go and look for something else. All right, this may not be suitable for you. But if you are willing to learn about the real trading, and you're willing to, see the different ROI at different day and so on, then this is good for you. Okay, please understand why we don't fix, because if today the market wants to bless you with 5%, why should you earn 1%? Shouldn't you earn 5%? Can you see that? So you will be blessed according to the market situation. Okay, please understand that. And the risk is very high. Okay, I want to make sure everyone is clear. You can get liquidated. All right, so because it is a futures cross margin, the risk can be very high. But for JDXBOT and the CopyMaster, we make sure we do our best to safeguard the position. But sometimes, right, if the market is being manipulated because of war and because of that, anything can go wrong. So please understand, okay, you can even get liquidated. All right. So, and if you get liquidated, no one is going to refund your liquidation and so on. All right, so be very clear, okay? Before you even join, if you are not able, to accept all the risks and so on, better don't get involved, okay? But if you want to try out with $50 and you're willing to lose your $50 or $100, then I think copy trading will be a good start for you, all right? Okay, because some of you may not have understanding about this industry. So get started with something first and understand the industry, understand crypto, understand DeFi, before you even actually acquire JDXBOT and other portfolio that we are offering. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, now how to get started, right, with copy trading, right? Let me go a bit quick on this and let's try to end this quickly. Okay, now, if you are new and you don't have a bigger account, reach out to your introducer for the bigger referral link. Or if you don't have an introducer, then please, okay, email us at copymaster@jdwealthmaker.com for assistance. Okay, so what I'm going to share here is those already have a bigger account. Okay, if you don't have a bigger account, you need to get a referral link and sign up. Okay, that's all. So if you have a bigger account, the first thing you need is a private invitation link. So this link is the JDXBOT CopyMaster link. So you need the link from us. Okay, from JDXBOT. Okay, please understand. So without the link, you cannot sign up for the CopyMaster. And please understand, I don't offer this in the public in Bitget. So people cannot search JDXCopyMaster. And even if you search, you cannot join because you need a private link to join. So at the moment, we only basically confine this to private investors who want to direct private partners who want to directly enjoy the CopyMaster. Okay, please take note. So now once you click the link, what will happen? It will bring you to this page. So in this page, okay, in this page, what you need to do, you need to tap the copy button there. So once you tap the copy button, it will bring you to the next page. Okay, and in the next page, what you need to do, right, you will see, if you see diverse follow is wrong. So what you need to do, you will see a switch button there. Can you see? You see a switch button there. Smart copy. So you tap the switch icon to upgrade to new copy trading mode, which is the smart copy. Now, if your mode is already smart copy, you can skip this process. Okay, but a lot of the user probably, if they are using the old copy trading, they have to switch it. Okay, so please take note. So once you've done that, you proceed, tap next to proceed, and then it will bring you to this page. All right, now in this page, right, so you can see smart copy. Can you see that? So what you need to do, you need to choose smart copy, and then you click upgrade. So now it will upgrade you to smart copy. And then you proceed to confirm. All right. And then now you come to this page. Can you see now it is a smart copy? All right. It is now smart copy. So in this page, what you need to do, first thing first, okay, you confirm, verify smart copy mode, okay, for auto-optimized trade execution. Okay. Now, before you go proceed, right, make sure that you have already funded your Bitget spot account with USDT. So how do you know that you have funded? You will see here, right? Can you see? Available in my spot. In my spot, available is $50.41. So this means that you already have the fund in your spot account. So you do not need to transfer nothing, right? Just make sure you have a fund available in your spot account. So then what you need to do, you then set your trading amount. So here minimum must be $50. Can you see that? So you key in $50, and if you have more than $50, is good. You key in $50 and leave the rest of the setting. Don't touch anything. All right. And then what you need to do, tap copy for the activation. That's all. So when you tap the copy, whatever trade that is currently open in my CopyMaster will automatically mirror and open at your side. That is it. Finish the story. There is nothing else that you need to do. Clear? Simple, right? Very simple. You can do this in less than 10 minutes if you already have a Bitget account. Okay? So, now, all right, now, I want to invite each and every one of you, right, to be part of this mission. Let's together make an extraordinary differences, in people's life, especially, the everyday individual, right? So if we can give them this opportunity, empower these ordinary people to generate extraordinary income, I think this will be really awesome. Okay. Now, this initiative led by myself reflects my unwavering mission to empower ordinary people to generate extraordinary income through decentralized finance. Okay, this is a huge industry, guys. So many people don't know about decentralized finance. They are still dependent on the centralized finance. I think it is time to shift our focus. All right, take advantage, because decentralized finance is a 700 or $800 billion industry. All right, take advantage of this industry because there are massive wealth available there. all right, with a $50, if you can just tap this industry, imagine what can happen, okay? So with JDXBOT and JDXCopyMaster, you can trade smarter, live better, and enjoy life to the fullest. Because why? You don't need to know how to trade. You don't need to learn anything. All that you need to do is allocate your fund, connect connect your account, follow the processes. That is it, right? You do what you are doing, keep working, all right? Keep doing your business. Don't do anything funny, all right? While you are earning passive income and multiple stream of income. Isn't that awesome, all right? So we value your honorable ownership. So take advantage, of this opportunity that we are offering to you, all right? And I think this is going to be awesome for those of you who are really looking at, exploring the decentralized finance, and also, right, starting to take advantage of the futures, trading strategies and opportunities that we are offering, right? So I hope, right, the explanation is clear. Now you are getting the idea, right? And this video later on will be posted in the group and also in the YouTube channel, JDXBOT. So you can actually find this presentation once again. You may go through it to understand further and so on. But please make sure, get to the person who invited you, who introduced you, all right, so that they can guide you and you can, get connected and get started as soon as possible, okay?